Okay,
Cool.
cool.
Right, let's go, guys. Sorry for that. So yeah, turning every independent pharmacy into an Amazon for medicine, Pharmanex. South Africa has 3,580 pharmacies, with independent pharmacies representing 68% of the market. But they are losing to chains simply because of systemic barriers that prevent patients from making informed decisions. There's no price transparency, there's no e-prescriptions, and there's also informal deliveries. A diabetic in Kailita pays 340 Rand for insulin at one store, not knowing that 2 or 3 blocks away, there's another store selling the exact same medication for 210 Rand. Busy professionals working long hours often can't reach pharmacies before closing time, forcing them to delay essential medication and having to pay high premiums for 24-hour chains. Pharmanex is a pharmacy marketplace where patients compare real-time prices and get same-day delivery. Pharmacies get inventory in sync, immediate claims, and analytics for 2499 a month. We're empowering independent pharmacies to compete with chains, whilst also giving patients transparency, choice, and of course, convenience. How does it work for patients currently? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and play the video here so you guys can see. Okay, that's not working. It's fine. But how it was going to work, so how would it work is that for a patient currently, they search for medication or OTC medication, and then they get to compare prices amongst the pharmacies in the area that they are currently in, and then they choose the cheapest pharmacy available. They then pay securely using their card or their medical aid policy, powered by the HealthBridge API, and then receive same-day bike delivery or priority in-store pickup. How does it work for pharmacies? Pharmacies have the pharmacy portal to manage orders. They get a, they have a live inventory sync to keep track of stock in real time. They also have auto reorder alerts when stock is running out. They have auto medical aids claims and an analytical dashboard to give them insights based off the digital store's performance. South Africa's pharmaceutical market presents a significant opportunity, with independent pharmacies representing the majority, but they are still lacking the necessary tools to actually compete. Our expected capture over a 18 to 24 months time period is to have 215 pharmacies onboarded throughout the entire country. Pharmanex generates revenue through multiple streams, creating a sustainable and scalable business model that aligns with stakeholders. We have a delivery fee, we've got a transaction fee, we've got a SaaS subscription fee, and we also have in-app advertising. Our go-to-market strategy is as follows. For phase one, we want to onboard at least 3,000 independent pharmacies through direct outreach. And in phase two, we want to go national as SAPC eScript launch. Pharmanex operates in a market dominated by large chains, but no one else gives patients real-time multi-pharmacy pricing, delivery, and claims all in one platform. Competitors only sell their own stock with limited delivery options. Pharmanex is the only true marketplace connecting patients with multiple independent pharmacies. We've secured strategic partnerships that validate our model and provide the infrastructure needed for rapid scaling. We've got 3 independent pharmacies onboarded on our pilot program. We have a logistics partner to assist with bike delivery throughout the pilot program, and we have tech support through AWS. The projections that we're trying to obtain post-launch are as follows. We want to onboard at least 1,940 pharmacies across the country. We want to process 187,000 prescriptions in order to strengthen our pricing AI model. And we also want to generate a monthly recurring revenue of 298,000 Rand. Our founding team combines deep expertise in fintech, pharmaceutical operations, marketing strategy, and also technical development. We're the right team for Pharmanex because we combine 25 years of independent pharmacy experience with real insights into patient behavior and also daily operational challenges. Our founding ask is as follows. We want to raise at least 400,000 Rand in order to do the following: a pilot program execution, product development, and also market and user acquisition for pilot. And that's Pharmanex. Cheaper mids, stronger local pharmacies, one tap away. For pharmacies that are interested in joining our pilot program, you can scan our QR code and register as a pharmacy. Please note it's only available in Johannesburg at the present moment. For patients who want to experience the future of pharmaceutical delivery, you can join our waitlist by scanning the same QR code and registering as a patient. For investors that are interested in scaling life-saving solutions and also transforming pharmaceutical access across Africa, please contact me using my personal details on the left side, and we can have the conversation afterwards. Thank you.
Yes, Luba. Now you guys know why he is running today's session.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I think we can start now with everything else and everything. Let me just check. Cool. Let me share my screen again. It seems it stopped.
And if you can, put your video on again.
Cool. I see it went off as well. Okay, cool. You guys can see me, right?
Yep.
Where is it? The pitch. No. Okay. Okay.
And we lost your face again, but it's okay.
I think it's because I'm presenting. Maybe that's why
Yeah.
my went away and
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
All right, cool. Sweet. Let's go on to the whole pitch and what the important is around it and so forth. So, yeah, guys. So by the end of the session today, you guys as the early founders, as such, you will learn a couple of things, 4 things. What slides an investor ready pitch deck must include. Why each slide is important and why it exists, and what information belongs on each slide, and also the common mistakes to actually avoid so that you guys don't repeat them as well. Cool. All right, cool. So what is a pitch deck? So I'm going to try my best not to read the information that's from the slides that I'm presenting you guys. I'm going to try and give you my own understanding as well, so that it kind of makes it easier for you guys to also understand. So yeah, a pitch deck is basically a conversation starter and not necessarily a business plan. The goal is to get the next meeting and not to explain everything. And investors, most of the time, they look for clarity and not necessarily any complexity associated with your pitch deck. Cool. So yeah, what investors look for most of the time within whatever a business they're trying to invest in, or even just like, from a pitch deck that you're having, is a clear problem, a problem that you can, define really well, and a problem that actually exists in your area or whatever area or market that you are trying to, enter in as such. And then also a simple solution, an elegant approach that's pretty much easy to understand and also to implement into the market that you are targeting. So whether it be an app, whether it be a service, or just anything, any solution that makes the problem kind of go away or simplify, or to make the problem not as big as it used to be, that's what you need. A large market, also, a significant addressable opportunity with room for substantial growth in the market that you're looking for. Don't try your best not to only niche it down only to one small aspect or segment within the market that you're trying to enter. Try your best to, think bigger, look at the bigger picture. Who else do you see your solution assisting besides the niche that you're trying to focus on? A strong team, so experienced founders with relevant expertise and execution capability. So if you know you want to do a certain thing, and you know that you don't necessarily have all the expertise or the knowledge and experience on that side of things, it'll be in your best interest to get someone within, or rather involved in your team, to assist you with those side of things, whether it be compliance or detailed information of how things are on the ground per se. It'll be great to have that addition to your team. And then proof of progress as well. So tangible evidence of traction, validation, or customer adoption per se of things. So having to, like you guys saw in my slide, I had some form of traction of having people on my waitlist per se. to do a certain pilot. So, just having people signing up to your landing page, or, if you have a landing page for your business, having people sign up, whether it be name, surname, email, or contact number and stuff, that information does count as traction, even though they're not necessarily paying you at the present moment. Obviously, in the future, that is the whole hope of it all. Cool. So the first one we're going to go into is the title slide. So why does the slide matter? The slide sets the first impression. Investors decide within seconds if they're interested or not. As you guys saw from my title, it was pretty straightforward. I had the picture of the application, had the name of the company, and it just had like, a one-line tagline basically that explains the whole project of what Farminix is into one line, and then having your name, your surname, contact details, and so forth. If your title doesn't, or if your title slide doesn't clearly explain what you do, you've already lost the attention, which is not in your best interest. So try your best to think in simple terms of how to convince someone off of one slide of the project or the idea that you're trying to sell. Cool. The next one now is the problem slide. The problem slide, why does the slide matter so much? Investors find problems before solutions. So ideally, what you would want to include in your problem slide is a clear, relatable problem, not only to you, but to anyone else outside of, your area or your environment as such. Who experiences it the most, or, if you have like, detailed information on who comes to experience a certain problem that you're trying to solve, you need to have that as well. And why is it painful, or why is it expensive, as well, is another key factor that you can add to your problem slide. It gives the bigger picture, instead of just only focusing on one thing. It allows the person that's reading or that's hearing your problem or hearing your pitch deck to kind of think outside of the box, if that makes sense. Um, for a couple of tips that I can give you guys on the problem side of things is to try your best to focus on one main problem. Avoid having to involve multiple problems into your whole slide, because it can leave your investor, it can leave your audience or your judges feeling confused and not necessarily knowing exactly what is it that you're trying to, solve, or what problem you're trying to reiterate to people. And also use real world examples or a short story. So, one thing that they emphasize during the course of my incubator and at ALX is having to connect your emotional story to your slide, per se. So, if you can find a way to make the audience feel what it is that you're saying, instead of having them, read and like, trying to understand it from your side of things, that's where you kind of win in a way. You get to, capture their hearts immediately, and, they don't even have to listen to the entire thing already. They're already convinced that, okay, I see what he's trying to do or she's trying to do. I'm pretty much convinced. Cool. Is everyone still with me? I wish I could see the chat right now. I can't, but I'm hoping you guys are okay. Please feel free to also, stop me if you feel like I haven't explained something properly to you. Okay, we'll go on to the next slide.
Luba, I just want to mention, guys, Ruth has just put in the pitch deck guide and template. Okay. So when you click on the pitch deck template, you can click on it, make a copy, and start implementing what Luba is teaching you now.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for that. All right, cool. So now we're on the solution slide, or basically the solution slide. Why, or what is it that you're going to be providing? How is it going to be solving X, Y, and Z? Cool. So why does the slide also matter? It explains why this problem is urgent today, and it basically gives or it emphasizes the urgency of the issue or the problem. And what is it that you should include in the slide? So you should have, market shifts, tech changes, regulatory changes, and consumer behavior changes as well. Cool. That was just my notes, but I'll also speak off the slide over here. So the solution slide, you want to explain the product and what it does and how it solves the problem. Try your best to keep it high level and avoid technical jargon because not everyone are techies. So do your best to, put it at a level that is easy for a 13-year-old to understand as such. Having a product demo is gonna also be your W or a win for you. As you saw from on my slide, I did put the demos, just that I couldn't show it to you because my device was just having a moment. But having a little video or screenshots of your product of what it is that you're selling is going to be a big thumbs up as well. And then, your value proposition, where you have to articulate why customers care or focus on clear outcomes and tangible benefits for both users and paying customers per se. As you saw from my slide, I was explaining two customer segments, which was the B2C, which is the patients, and then the B2B, which is the pharmacies. Patients, I got to show you how it works for them currently. And then the patients, I also got to show you, or not necessarily show you a video, but like, a step-by-step or rather features that are going to be included or will be used from the pharmacy side of things. And just having a little explainer as well, which is a good thing as such. Cool. Let me see what else I can mention on this slide. All right, cool. We'll go on to the next slide now. This is now your business model and also your market opportunity slide. I had this part combined, but ideally you want to have it separate, within your pitch deck. So you're having a market opportunity slide like you saw on my side, and also a business model side. So when it comes to your market opportunity, this is where you present your TAM, which is your total addressable market, your SAM, which is your service addressable market, and also or serviceable addressable market, and then also SOM is just your service obtainable market. This is where you basically just give the total market size, your realistic target market, and also a short explanation of how you calculated it as well. Tips on this part: try your best to be realistic. Overinflated numbers usually kill credibility as well. So do your best to be as realistic as possible. Although, yes, you need to really think big as such, but obviously, since you're starting out as a startup founder and everything like that, try your best to narrow it down to the realistic side of things. There was one other thing I wanted to mention as well. So obviously for early startup founders, you guys won't necessarily have primary evidence because you're still in the process of understanding your product or having to just gain as much information possible around the problem and the solution that you want to provide for it. So yes, ideally for early startup funders, secondary evidence is, classified as indirect or low strength evidence. In plain terms, what that means is that it's information that supports your idea without coming directly from your own customers or users. Um, just to go a little bit deeper on that side, how secondary evidence is usually classified. So you have your indirect evidence, which is a suggestion or it suggests demand or a problem that exists, but doesn't necessarily prove your specific solution is. You have low to medium confidence, so useful early on, but not enough on its own to do a risk startup or risk a startup. And then also external validation, which comes from outside sources and not first-hand experience you've run. Common examples that I can also suggest for you as well on this segment of the secondary evidence is having market research reports, industry statistics.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Not a problem.
Um, okay, I think they've muted now. Go ahead. Oh, no. Nkechi, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I said I've muted them.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Yes, as I was saying, what happened now? Decline. I'm busy on another call. Okay. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Just the call is coming in. As I was saying, the common examples that you can have for your secondary evidence is market research reports, industry statistics, articles or trend analysis, competitor success stories, expert opinions or case studies, and also academic research. Um, Ideally, how you would want to use this as an early startup founder are as follows. So secondary evidence is best used for, shaping your hypothesis and also understanding the market landscape. And ideally, convincing yourself an idea that isn't obviously impossible as well. Cool. And the bottom line of the whole secondary evidence part is that secondary evidence helps you start thinking, um, helps you start seeing exactly where it is you can create a great solution or a great feature or how to add on to what you already have per se. And primary evidence helps you start believing because that's the information that you're actually getting from the people on the ground, depending on what your customer base is like, whether it's B2B or B2C. So, yeah, that's market opportunity for you. Then the business model. Business model is where you now clearly articulate and show just how is it that you're going to be making money from your business. And yeah, basically generating, a monthly recurring revenue, annual recurring revenue, so long and so forth. So it shows basically who pays, shows your pricing structure, and it shows where your money is going to be coming in, which revenues or streams is money going to be coming in from. Why does the slide also matter? Great ideas often fail without a clear revenue system or structure in place. What is it that you need to obviously include? Like I mentioned, how you make money, who pays, the pricing logic, and also the multiple revenue streams that are applicable. If you can't really necessarily think of ones on your own, like if you've thought out as much as you possibly can, you can always use AI, depending on which model that you guys use, ChatGPT, Gemini, Anthropic, and there's a whole lot of learning language models that you can use there. But you can also use those tools to kind of think a little bit further for you in the event that you've hit like your cap of thinking of more business models to add to your product. Hope everyone is with me and kind of understands how that whole section of business modeling works. Like I said, we'll have a Q&A session where I'll go even more deeper if you guys want me to do so and such. Goodness. Cool. We're going to go on to the next slide now. All right. Your traction and your go-to-market strategy. You need to also have this separately. Don't combine it into one. Like you saw in my slide, I had a go-to-market strategy slide, and I also had a traction slide as well. Cool. Why does traction matter, or why will it matter when you're doing your pitch, whether it's in the incubator program or any other incubator program, or if it's a conversation that you're having with someone that you just met as such? So the importance of the traction slide, traction often reduces investor risk because there's some form of proof that they can actually hinge onto and say, okay, now that you've done this or you've done them as much research as possible and you've managed to, consolidate all that data and I can see it for myself, I don't mind actually putting in cash into your company, a cash injection, or even a resource provided from the investor as well. Having traction helps a lot. And that's how I was also able to kind of, win my showcase or win the pitching showcase and to also attract an early investor as well. So what is it that you should include in your traction slide? You should have your users. If you are fortunate enough to have revenue coming in as well, you can also add that part. But if you don't, that's also perfectly fine. Have partnerships in place. You saw on my side, the partnerships that I kind of have was with the pharmacies, having them to sign agreements saying, listen, we are keen to do this project with you. We'll sign and X, Y, and Z. You go into detail as to what was going to be happening within that agreement. Pilots, I'm doing my pilots very soon as well. Going to be doing it sometime in February. Just waiting for a few things just to be in order as such. And then also growth rates as well. So how it has been growing from inception, if you've already started. If you haven't started it already, you can kind of have like a projection or a post-launch projection like I had as well from my pitch deck. Yeah. For what other things that you can also add to traction is having like the wait lists, as like I described earlier on when I was speaking to you guys, having a wait list or having a number of names or people or companies within a wait list that can also act as a traction slide for you. Testimonials is also a big thing as well. So having to get like direct quote unquotes from whoever it is that you're speaking to, your partnerships or your customers, having them to disclose how great of a solution your solution is going to be for the market, having them to have their own input in or on your project would be a really good thing, thumbs up thing to have on your traction slide. Okay, cool. We're done with the traction. Now we're going to head on to the go-to-market strategy. This is basically where you outline your sales channels, your marketing approach, partnerships, and also your growth phases as well. On my side, or based off my pitch deck, the strategy that I intend to go with is having to do a hybrid system. So direct outreach and also digital marketing outreach as well. Direct outreach meaning that or rather the team that I will have to go and obtain the customers or the clients will having a bunch of ambassadors going to a bunch of pharmacies and just convincing them to be on our platform, of course. And then also within the pharmacies, we will also attack or rather reach out to the incoming or the walking in patients as well to get them on to our platform, to using Pharmanex to get their medication instead of having to come all the way to a pharmacy as such. There's other channels as well that you can incorporate when it comes to your direct outreach, which is having to go to conferences associated with the product that you are selling. So whether it's been agriculture, some form of engineering or whatever, you need to have that as well within your growth strategy for direct outreach. Trying to think of what else to say outside of what's here. Digital marketing as well via LinkedIn or Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, etc. Whatever is aligned to your market, use the necessary tools to get to your clients through the digital channels per se. Strategic partnerships as well with complementary platforms. So how can I explain this in a way you can understand? Okay, cool. So with me, I'm going to be having a logistic partner on board to help me with delivery aspect of getting the medication from the pharmacy to the patient side of things. So strategic partnerships with complementary platforms, so I can now use their bikes to kind of advertise my business or Pharmanex itself on the actual bike as such, and then also having the drivers to also communicate and talk about the idea to the patient that they're actually delivering to as well, or even nearby or other people around as well. That's another form of complementary platforms or strategic partnerships associated with complementary platforms. And then also expansion as well into markets by a certain date or time as well. You saw on my side with having certain projections after a certain time. That is also something you need to add or include into your go-to market strategy as well. Cool. I hope everyone is still with me. We're almost done. Just have like a few more slides. Just want to see if I've missed anything else on go-to-market. Okay, cool. Let's go on to the next slide. So this is your competition slide or your competitive landscape. Why is this slide important? Every problem already has alternatives. So With me, obviously, I'm going to be operating in a market that's quite flustered, or rather populated with other large chains in the space that I'm working in, and having to have, like, a good competitive analysis showing just what it is that you're offering that they're not, is going to also be a big W for you. In fact, it's the most important one, because a lot of people would say, why would I use you when there's already a solution that's available? So having to have something that is, incredibly different, incredibly, unique as well within your platform, within your solution, is quite vital. So what would you need to include in the slide, or in the competition slide? This is where you need to have, your direct competitors or indirect alternatives, and what you do better or differently compared to the competitors that are working in the market that you have. Um, a tip that I can give or say to you is, when you're pitching or when you're building your slides and stuff for the competitive landscape, is to make sure that you never say that we have no competitors. It's quite impossible for that. I also tried to think that I didn't have any competitors as well, based off what I was doing, until I was hit with a brick of reality and realizing, okay, actually, there are a lot of people doing what I'm doing, and I need to iterate a little bit more to ensure that I am different from everyone else as such. So, yeah, having that in your competitive landscape slide, very, very important. Cool. I'll just touch on a little bit more on the mode slide, but that one is kind of, laced into your competitive landscape, but I'll still go into it. Why is it important to have, like, a mode within the pitch deck? Investors care a lot about, the long-term advantage. How long can your solution last for, and how big or how much can it be scaled to a point that it still stays quite, competitive, or it has a competitive advantage over all the other your investors, or sorry, all out of all of your other competitors. What should be included for the mode slide is, your data advantage, the network effects, the partnerships, the regulatory barriers, and also the switching costs. So yeah, that's what you would need to have within your mode slide. I'll explain it a bit further after the call, or after this whole presentation that I have with you guys. Cool. And the next one now is your team slide. This is also another important factor. Like I mentioned earlier on, this gives reassurance to whoever it is that's, reading or watching or listening to your product or to your pitch deck, that, this person has a fortified team to take on this problem, and they're not, thumb sucking it. They are not hoping to do it. They have solid plans and solid strategies behind the work that they want to do. Why is this slide important? Like I mentioned earlier on, investors back people more than ideas. So who is behind the project? What experience do they have? Why are they the perfect fit to do this as such? So what would you need to include within your team slide? It's obviously your founders. If there's more than one founder, you need to have all of them there. Ideally, having a picture of them, a head out or head cut out picture of them on your team slide, and then just having, like, a short description of the experience that they've had and how they would provide value to this new solution that you are creating. Yeah, like I mentioned, why is this team uniquely qualified or to do this problem that you're solving, and key experience as well. A tip to also add on, show relevance, add relevant information that can, speak to the slide or speak to the pitch deck for you. And obviously, don't put the full CVs. That's too much information there for the person to read and stuff. Just pick out 2 or 3 important things to add for that person, and then, yeah, that should be okay, basically. All right, and then on to the last slide, which is the ask, and I don't know how, I don't want to say final wisdom, but yeah, your call to action that you're going to have as such for the slide and everything. Why is it important to have an ask slide or the use of fund slide? This is where you make the investment clear. This is where you describe to your audience, the judge, the investor, or any person that's listening really, on where is the money that is going to be used, and in as much detail as you possibly can. You saw on my slide, I mentioned an amount and where it's going to be used, and then also on the right, I gave like a little pie chart or diagram, just showing you exactly where certain amounts from that full ask is going to be used on. So whether it's marketing operations, tech development, onboarding, trying to think what else was there, but it basically showed you, it gave you a whole idea as to where the money is going to be used as such and how much is going to be used in each segment and so forth. So what is it that you need to include in your ask slide is how much you're raising, what the money will be used for, like I just explained, and also the milestones that it could unlock as well throughout the whole process or inception of your product that you're trying to sell as such. The best practice or a tip that I can give to you for this slide as well is to tie money directly to the growth outcomes as well. So meaning this money will help you get X amount of more clients because you're focusing on, I don't know, direct outreach, digital outreach, marketing, so on and so forth. Just having a direct tie to how your money is going to help foster in more growth, meaning you also get more money out of doing that, is a big W for you to describe within your pitch deck. Cool. Just trying to see what else I can mention here. I think there's just one slide I forgot to add here, but it's fine. I'll just talk over it a little bit. This is now the closing slide, your call to action slide. My one, you guys got to see, I had a QR code with the website of the company, my email address, and my personal contact number. And then also just showing what I want from each segment that I'm speaking to. So I had B2B, which was the pharmacies. I had B2C, which was the patients, and then I also had the investors, and just trying to also show exactly where they can contribute, or trying to entice them to kind of get on board with the project itself. Why does this slide matter? You want to end with ambition. You want to end off strongly, fortified. You want that slide to basically consolidate everything and basically be the showstopper, if I can put it that way, and to kind of remind your audience as to why they should get on board with your project per se. What would you need to include within that slide is to have the big picture vision. You saw I had mentioned scaling life-saving solutions and also transforming pharmaceutical access across Africa, although I'm focusing on South Africa right now, but ideally in the future, it is going to go into Africa. Those are the kinds of things that you should include within your vision slide or your closing slide. And then call to action, you get them to scan the QR code, you get them to visit your website, or even your social media handles. You can also add them there as well to make it easy for the people that are looking at your pitch deck as such. And then I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, that's about it that I can mention on the closing slide. Now, a couple of tips or advice that I can try to give you are as follows. So the common pitch deck mistakes that I fell into the trap of when I had started out my whole entrepreneurial journey per se is, I used to have too much text on my slides, and this resulted in me having to speak much longer than 5 or even 3 minutes. I used to speak for like 11 minutes as such, and that was because I had too much text on my slides. I also had too many slides as well. It was like 20 instead of like, minimizing it to like a good 12, and also over explaining as well. I had that issue, and when you happen to over explain, that's where you kind of eat up on your time of talking. And believe it or not, when you speak over, like if they give you a set time of 5 minutes and you happen to speak over that, you'll get cut down and shut down, and you won't be able to, continue with your pitch because your time is up. There's also no clear ask. You have to be really, really clear with the ask. Like I mentioned, you give a set amount and then you describe what that amount is going to be used for. And another one, which is a weak problem definition. That's usually another thing that kind of kills your work or kills your pitch deck if your problem isn't as strong or if it isn't as real as possible or it's not, relatable at all whatsoever. You need to make sure whatever it is that you're trying to create, that problem needs to be like the anchor to the solution that you're trying to create. It's really, really important to have a clear problem and a really, really strong problem as well. Other few things I can mention to avoid within your pitch decks: do not, by all means, when you are pitching, do not read from your pitch deck. That will also kill you and kill your time. I'm not sure if you guys could pick up on how I was doing my pitch deck. I had certain information on my slides that I would read, and then everything else I would leave it up to the audience or you to read for yourself while I was talking stuff. Because if I had to mention the whole thing within the slide, I would lose out on time. Another couple of tips to give you: your pitch deck should be understandable within the 3-minute time frame as well. It shouldn't be within the whole 5 minutes. The other 5 minutes is just to go, or the other 2 minutes within the 5 minutes, just to give a little bit more information on like how your business is going to operate, how your business is going to make money and stuff. But ideally, within the first 3 minutes, they need to already have a clear idea as to how you're going to make the solution or how it's going to assist or help out with the problem that you're trying to solve as such. If one slide is confusing, do your best to simplify it. Like I mentioned, use AI, guys, to help you out with that. Just give it a simple prompt telling, the AI, I need to make this as easy as possible for a 13 or 14-year-old to understand. Please remix this information into bite-sizable information for people to read and to easily understand. And another thing is investors want clarity, guys, and not necessarily perfection. So, you can't beat yourself up if you don't have a perfect thing at the beginning. But if you have a good, clear pipeline or path on what it is that you're trying to do, that should get you across the line. Without a doubt, like 100%. I thought it wasn't going to work with me, but it did. And yeah, that's where I am right now. So yeah, clarity is the most important thing. Perfection, not so much. Perfection, you'll get to it later, especially when you are building and you're building with your customers as well. Not necessarily, going to the corner and then just thinking that, okay, this is what they want, this is the problem that they're solving. Having to build with your market or with your customers will save you on a lot of time and, the back and forth as such. Yeah, just trying to think of what other things I can tell you guys. Oh, another thing to mention, this project that I made or that I'm currently making, I ideated it in October last year, October 2024, and now we are in December, or when I did my showcase around towards the end of November, I ended up winning and stuff. So it doesn't take a long time to kind of, focus and, put in all the time and effort to your project as such. As long as you give it love, consistency, and you have, the right amount of discipline, you're going to get through this whole project pretty easily. And, if you're struggling to love it at the beginning because you've got FUD, fear, uncertainty, or doubt, or you just don't have a really good support structure or anything like that per se, but if you give it all the love, all the support, or all the time that your project needs, and as such, you'll eventually start seeing it grow and walking for itself and running on its own as well. So yeah, that's another point that I can give out to you guys, that it doesn't take time to do this. As long as you give it all the love and attention it possibly need, it's going to work. It's genuinely going to work. And yeah, I think that's all I can say for now. I hope everything that I just spoke about and gave you guys insights on is, easy to digest and is easy to kind of, implement into your own pitch decks. So yeah, I now hand it over to you guys to see or to hear from you guys on what it is that you want assistance on.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi. So how are you?
I'm good. It's Paul.
Hi,
I have a
Paul.
I'm okay. Thank you so much for the insights. So actually, I have a question, and it's unfortunate that it's connected to yesterday's question I asked. So
Mm-hmm.
you see the way people were being told to prototype or to make an MVP, which
Mm.
was very good. I asked the question because my line of business is kind of different, and I want to connect it to what you just talked about, which is very important. So when you're bidding a pitch deck, it's probably because you want to present to investors so that you market yourself, you get the funding, and you proceed and progress like that. But the question here is, how is it supposed to look like? Is it supposed to have a prototype in it, like a slide deck? Of course, it has to show how you are working or you are going to work towards achieving what you want to achieve. So, should you be showing them the prototype? And if so, is it possible for a person to make a pitch deck without a prototype? I don't know if that is making sense. I'm getting to somewhere. Where I'm getting is, because if you don't have to give them a prototype, because, okay, the question is, mine needs a prototype that is not a website, that is not an application. It needs a machine that converts some things into some things. I don't know if you get that. So the
Okay.
prototype has to be a physical one, even at a smaller scale, but just something that shows that this thing can work. I don't know if that makes sense. So in light of that, when you're now building a pitch deck, should it always have because obviously we are here to get capital to run these things, to start off, start somewhere, to have the finance to transport and to have different resources start to speed up. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's the question. Very clear. Thank you so much.
Okay, cool, man. Thank you so much, Paul, for that question. Um, yeah, you are told that you don't necessarily need to have like, a prototype or anything like that and stuff for your pitch deck, but it's not going to work for you, regardless of whether you don't have it and, the whole money or capital side of things and such. It's not going to work for you. You're going to have to find a way to have some form of prototype. So if it's not a digital product and it's like, I don't know, a phone or anything like that, or a keyboard or anything like that, you need to have that prototype to convince. Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing, Paul. I'm not sure if you're still on the call, but seeing
I,
is believing.
I am
Seeing
on
is
the call.
believing. If a person can just see it, what it is that you're trying to sell versus of just talking about it, it simplifies things so much. Because I've seen that within myself as well. I was able to talk about the idea, and especially during ideation stage, but it was still very much difficult to understand. And then when I started to show them the actual demo of what is actually happening and how it's working and stuff, the light bulb shot up within the viewer and they were like, oh, now I get it. Oh, goodness, I see how I can use this. I see how much of an impact that it can have on my life and such. So just having some kind of prototype doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. But as long as it's clear and it's showing exactly what it's intending to do or what it's intending to solve, that's going to be a big W for you.
Thank you so much. That's very clear.
Not a problem, Paul. Okay, let me see if I can look for other questions on the
Okay.
chat.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, I'm listening. Hi,
All right.
Unopa.
Yes, you said it, you pronounced it correctly. Thank you so much. Or you could call me Uno, but it's fine.
Awesome,
Um,
awesome.
no, great presentation, Luva, and yeah, I can understand how it is you were able to actually win because that was a great presentation right there. Okay, so getting straight to the point, I noticed, at least in your case, for your pitch, there was, as you mentioned, I think a couple of times in your presentation, some kind of traction that you already had.
Mm,
You had a pilot program and so on and so forth. Whereas I think for me and a lot of people on this program, this boot camp today, we came up with these ideas during the boot camp, so there's no way we would have had traction, there's no way we would have been able even to do like the necessary ground research even for the prototype itself. So I'm wondering, for the purposes maybe at least of this boot camp, I understand, of course, in the long run, for much bigger pitches and incubation, the insights from this presentation are very useful. But then for this particular boot camp and the deliverables, I'm wondering, is all the information applicable, or is there maybe some things we might need to edit out, to make it more relevant to the deliverables for this particular bootcamp, given the time limitation that we have? I don't know if my question is making sense, because yeah, literally we came up with these ideas during the bootcamp. So the research, the traction finding, the team building, all those things for a lot of us are simply not there, and the deliverables
Okay,
wanted
cool.
in 2 days' time.
100%.
Yeah.
No, that's totally understandable. Yeah, I'd actually mentioned it, I think on the market opportunity slide, but I'll go over it again and stuff. So yes, you're in the bootcamp, so you're still in like, ideation stage, trying to think of what it is that you're trying to create and stuff like that, and the deliverables and stuff. So you don't necessarily need to have primary evidence, which is like, the tractions like I had, signing agreements or partnerships in place and stuff like that. In your case, or in your guys' case, you can have secondary evidence. Secondary evidence, or the common examples for secondary evidence, is market research reports, like you had mentioned, industry statistics, articles or trend analysis, competitor success stories. So whatever your competitors are and what success stories that they had based off the solution that you're trying to create and stuff, you can use that as evidence or as a form of traction. And then also expert opinions or even case studies as well, and academic research can be laced into the whole traction slide, as a side of things for your deliverables. I'm hoping that answers your question. If not,
It does. It does. It does. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And of course, for the long run, then we'll then do the necessary homework as well. But thank you so much for
yes,
that tip.
yes, the
Yeah.
homework, the research, just spend a couple of hours on whatever topic that is that you're trying to research, and then just consolidate that.
All right. No, thank you so much. Then in terms of like the presentation that you did, I don't know. I'm made to understand there was a template that was shared. I haven't opened the link yet because tech issues. I'm afraid if I jump off the Zoom call, I might end up having the same problems. But I don't know if the presentation that you did, are we able to get a copy of that, for further reference or something?
The like my one specifically, or the one that was given to you guys?
I don't know if the one that you were using your presentation is the same one that was shared with the links. I think, yeah, I don't know if it's the same thing or is it a different thing altogether.
Let me just see. I just saw something in the chat now. Where is it?
I think Nkechi shared something. So I don't know if it's the same thing or was your presentation,
So
slides.
so mine is based off the pitch deck guide that's going to be given to you guys, or it's within the chat, so you can just, I don't know, click on the link and then just make a copy and stuff like that. I only changed mine a little bit, as per se, based off the information that I got back from my mentors that were assisting me with my pitch and stuff like that. If you want, I will put my pitch deck on the bootcamp group, for you to kind of like, compare and see what you can add based off what you have and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. I'll put it there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I would really appreciate that.
Cool.
All right. Peace, brother. Thank you so much.
Sure thing. Any other questions? I don't know.
Hi. Yes.
Who's talking? Annette.
Annette.
Hi,
Hi.
Annette. How are you?
Thank you for the presentation. So I have a question. For an early stage startup, how do I show traction if the only thing we have is a little bit of interest from social media, and also maybe 3 people like are paid for our services? How do I like present that in a
So
pitch
you've got 3 people, you've got a little bit of interest, and then you said something about social media?
Yeah, so yeah, some like just a bit of traction in social media.
Okay, cool. All right. So if you already have 3 people, if you can get maybe like a nice 5 to 10 more people to to pay for whatever it is that you're creating and stuff like that, that'd be good. But even those 3 people that you can show proof that they've paid for whatever service you have, you can mention it. How can you mention it? Yeah, you can just say we've already had paying clients, and then when they ask you who's paid and how many people has paid, that's when you go into detail, saying no, we've only had 3 to 4 to 10 people that have paid and so forth and stuff. So try not to mention the number of people that have paid. Just say you already have paid clients as well on the slide.
Just mention it as a text.
Yeah, within the text. So I'm not sure if you saw mine. Can't present now. Let me see. Give me a second so I can just show you screen. So I mentioned there in text that we've got 3 independent pharmacies confirmed for our pilot program. So you can mention the number of people that have paid as well if you want to, but if you don't want to, you can just say that we already have clients that have paid for our pilot program. And then number 2, you speak about there's engagement or there is interest on social media. So if you can find a way to show the data, so the analytical data that you have on your social media's profile, if you can give it in text as well, not too much, just the important part, you can add that as well as text as such. And then with the interest, what kind of interest do you have? Like what evidence do you have of saying that people are interested?
Just coming into the inbox and just saying, hey, I'm interested in having this service. How much would it cost?
Okay, cool. I'm just trying to think now. Is that within social media or is that within, I don't know, your emails or something?
Within social media platforms and also our company number.
Oh, your company number and stuff. Okay, cool. If you can, depending on how you structure that slide and stuff, if you can show screenshots of those conversations of saying, yeah, I'm interested, how do I go in further and stuff like that. Yeah? Okay, I think the other person is talking and they don't realize their mic is not muted. But yeah, it's fine. So if you can have screenshots of that conversation on your DMs or on your emails as such, that would be really nice to have and showcase as proof or as evidence. And then, like I mentioned, the analytical data. So just a screenshot where it shows you the metrics of engagement post or the kind of engagement or what's happening, how much time they spend on there and everything like that. If you can have that as well, that'd be great for your traction slide. Hope that explains it a little bit better for you.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right, cool. Feel free, guys, to ask me rhetorical questions again or anything.
Hello.
Sorry,
Hello.
good afternoon.
Hi,
Yes, I
hi,
want
hi.
to.
I'm
You
just trying to
said
see what
something
to.
regarding sharing your pitch deck, but I want to ask if, for any reason, one wants to get you to help in terms of looking at the pitch deck one is preparing and trying to put some advice in terms of maybe advices regarding how one can improve or enhance the page after being used. Will you be available for that?
I can do that. Maybe we can even do a little session on that. Maybe I can just do a poll on the group that you guys have there, and then we'll see who's interested and stuff. Yeah, I can do those things. I'm a little bit busy, just a little bit, but I can make some time for you guys. There's also other tools that I can also share with you guys that have helped me quite a lot with winning my showcase and stuff like that I'm willing to obviously share for free, of course, and stuff. And yeah, I'd be delighted to do that.
Hi.
Hi, Kananelo.
Yeah, how are you, Luba?
Great, thanks, and yourself?
I'm good. So I have two questions and I'm just going to try and make them as clear as possible. So the first one is just to give a bit of a background, my business is product based. It is a beverage, right? So with that in mind, you mentioned that you must have some type of a prototype, just something to prove your hypothesis, right? So in my case, I have already spoken to some suppliers and they do provide these prototypes. But in my case, they are physical ones, meaning it's like formulations of the recipes for the actual beverages, right? So I have them in, let's assume I have them in hand. So how would I now add that to a pitch deck? Would it be maybe a signed document with these supplies that, hey, this person has gotten these prototypes from us, and maybe adding a picture for the visuals? And the second question is regarding the MVP, right? So with the MVP, it's that we are proceeding to now validate the hypothesis. So with that, I'm obviously thinking things like farmers market, pop-up events, so on and so forth. So with those ones, do I include the pictures? Because these pop-up events or things like that, sometimes they don't have the necessary formal documents that I can sign that we are having this. Is just in support of uprising entrepreneurs. So with that, obviously revenue will be generated from selling, these drinks to people. And so do I include pictures like with the MVP of a physical product? Like how would I then include that in a pitch deck? I hope I'm making sense.
No, I understood what you're trying to say, and I'm gonna do my best to answer it as best as I possibly can. So for the first question, for submitting for your pitch deck and how to show your product and stuff like that. Yes, so having like that agreement with your, I don't know, your manufacturer or whatever, saying that this has been done for said company, these are the ingredients that have been used, whatever information that is associated or the compliance that is associated around, making a beverage or a consumable product. You're going to have to just put that part into your pitch deck, because obviously you can't add the actual bottle to your pitch deck when you're submitting. No, that's mostly for when you're actually pitching to your judges or to whoever it is that you're trying to sell your product to and stuff. And then the MVP side of things. So yes, I assume it's in a bottle, Nick, Canelero, this juice.
Yes, it is. It's in a bottle.
Cool. So if you can get like, markups of that bottle that you're using, showing like, the size and scale of the juice product or the bottle itself, the print or the branding that you're going to be using, or that's already in place as such. What else can you add? Yeah, pictures of those two things around your product or your business. If you can have pictures of that within your MVP, or that it can count as like, screenshots and stuff. So yeah, having that would be a W for you. I'm just trying to think what else you could potentially showcase as well for the bottled juice or drink. Okay, I can't think of anything else right now, but I'm sure if you just can go onto like, whichever AI model that you're using, just think of other suggestions of what to add on top of what you already have, which is the scale or the picture of the bottle, and then also the print of the bottle as well. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. Are you fine, Canelelo?
Yes. Thank you very much. That was very insightful.
Okay, cool. All right. Look, I'm also on that group of your guys as one. So if there's any other questions that you don't feel like I answered them properly, or if you feel like you're too scared to ask questions over here, you can just jot them also on that group, and I'll do my best to answer them as well. Sweet. Who's next?
Hi, Luba.
Hi, Ola Kunle.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for your
Awesome.
time and everything. Yeah, so basically I just wanted to ask, you said you're in our group. Could you share
Sorry?
us you said you're on our group, right? On the
Yes.
ALX founders group.
Yes, that
Yeah.
Bootcamp
I don't know if it's
2025.
going to be, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be here on that group. Can you share us the slides that you used? And then you talked about some tools that helped you during your ideation process and all of that. Could you please share the slides and then the tools, possibly maybe how you make use of them? Or if then we can have a session with you to discuss it, but particularly the tools and the slides. I believe that will really help a long way.
Okay, cool. The call was cutting a little bit, but I managed to grab on what you were saying. So you want me to share the tools that I used to create the slides and what else?
Basically, I asked about the tools that you used and then the slides.
That's it, ne?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, definitely. I'll share the tools that I used to create everything, even the
slides.
prototype that I used for my showcase. I'll share the tools as well.
Great.
Luba, if possible, if you can share it in the chat, just because you're in the South African
The
bootcamp
essay
group.
one. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just in case, if you can share what everyone's asking for in the chat here, then they'll all get it.
Okay, cool. Not a problem. Camera.ai for pitch.
Hello, Luba.
Yeah, tool. I'm listening. Hi, Ayo, hi.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Good.
So
How
my
can I
question
assist?
is, yeah, thank you. I run a small company. It's a lending company. And when I got into the bootcamp, the idea of creating a product that will help people to save money rather than break their investment, right? Because what people do, found out, is that when they have emergency, they tend to break their investment or their savings, maybe fixed deposit. So the idea I've come up with is to develop an MPV that is for educational purpose and try to see if people can commit to regular savings, to lock in their savings for a period of, say, 12 months. And I've already started sharing my MVP, and I'm already seeing traction. The goal is that MVP will metamorphose into a savings app with a loan product. But for the purpose of the MVP is just to test the market, to see
Yes.
if, based on education, based on awareness, if people will commit to savings, if people will save money. So I guess my question is, since this product is coming from a company, do I present it as a product from a company, or do I pick on directors from my company to form part of the team for this startup? So I just needed that bit of clarification. I don't know if
Okay,
you
cool.
got all in there.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, Zoom always has an issue with me with the sound and stuff like that, although my connection is fine. So from what I could take from the conversation, you said that you've got a solution whereby or rather you've noticed that a lot of people kind of misuse or take out money in, like, funds or something like that for like certain things that are happening in their lives and stuff, and you want to create a platform that educates people on the financial side of things and to kind of, I don't know, teach them how to save better or anything like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. And then the question that you asked, if you don't mind, do you mind just putting it in the chat so that I can kind of like just see it, because yeah, it's still cutting a little bit on my side. So I'll wait for you.
Hey, Luba. Good afternoon.
Hi, Germano.
Yes, good afternoon. So sorry. I think you have shared in what's that? The tools that we can use for
the tools that I used, right?
for us. Yes, that's used, and we would also like to get the slides. Is that possible? The slides that you used right here.
The slides that I used. So I'm gonna, before I end the call, I just need to find a way to get the link for my slide, and then I'll just put it on the chat because I realized I'm not on all of the groups. I'm only on the one in South Africa. So I'll make sure to just add it in the chat, and then you can look at the slide at your own leisure as such. Okay, Ayo, I'm reading your
Yeah,
question. Do I present my pitch deck as a team of individual people or a company as the idea is coming from an established lending company? Do I think do it as a team of individuals because yeah, sure, you're you're partnered up, I assume, with the lending company inside, so you can rather mention them as a partner for your company and stuff, but ideally pitch your deck as a team or individual of people as such. All right, cool. I see the thumbs up. Sweet. Cool. Yeah. Anyone else want to ask?
Yes.
I have something to say.
Sorry. Yes.
Hello.
Just may I please?
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, repeat that.
Germano, go ahead.
Yes. Sorry. I just would like to get, let's say, more insights about the process of iterating the pitch deck. Let's say creating or curating the pitch deck. For instance, is there any, let's say, strategy or proper way to design the pitch deck according to the audience? For example, there are investors, there are, let's say, stakeholders, or let's say allies. Are there proper, let's say there are different ways to structure the pitch deck according to these audiences? Thanks.
Okay. Okay, just give me a second. Let me put this link here. So you're asking, is there, different ways or strategies around pitching, based off your audience and everything like that, right?
Definitely.
Okay, yeah. So very challenging to answer that question, but not really. So
Wait, Luba. So I think he's kind of asking if you're looking at getting partners or if you're looking at getting clients or stakeholders outside of investors.
Okay, I see what you mean. Correct. Thank you for that, Nicole. So, depending on how far you go with, your pitch and stuff like that, like, if you want to get into the incubator program and stuff like that, you'll get more detailed information on this side, but I'll just give you like a quick rundown. So what we went through during our program is that we had to create two different kinds of pitch decks. So you needed to make an investor pitch deck, and I think the one that you're referring to right now is the sales pitch deck. So obviously the investor pitch deck, it's more detailed and more around how you're going to be making money, the market size, and basically just to kind of make the investor or the judge feel at ease. And then the sales one, that's directly at your or for your customers. So, or whether it's B2B or B2C, yeah, you would have to have two different pitch decks. I'm not sure if you guys saw when I was busy presenting or about to present, I had like a couple of pitch decks available based on the customer segment that I was speaking to and stuff. So yeah, that's ideally you would have to have two different or more than two pitch decks depending on your customer segment. Still following the same strategy. So ideally you would create from your investor pitch deck, and then you'll make a sales pitch deck for your customer, and then what other pitch deck for whatever customer segment or even your partner as well. But it all has to correlate from your investor pitch deck. I hope it answers the
Yeah, it's
sorry,
totally clear. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
sorry for butting
Nicole?
in. Luba, just regarding the deck that you shared. So you shared your pitch deck, which is awesome. So you guys can see that as an example. But if you don't mind sharing the slides from your session from today as well.
Oh, from the session today. Okay, cool. Let me do that as well. All right, cool. Let me do that
Thank
too.
you.
Sweet. Any other questions, guys? We've got time still.
Hello, Lua. I have a question
Hi,
about.
Kobe. How are you?
I'm fine. I hope you are too.
Awesome. Yeah, talk to me.
So I have a question about how you succeed in getting your pilot partners.
How did I succeed to?
Getting your pilot partners.
Oh, how did I succeed? Okay, cool. Sweet. So you have to, okay, in my space, because we all have different markets that we are trying to attack or get involved in and stuff like that. So within the it's not pilot program, within the incubator and stuff like that, you get to try out a series of strategies and ways to go about acquiring the customers that you want to go with, or to have involved within your product or solution. What I got to realize during my time was that the phone call or the emails and digital side of things, it worked, but only to a certain extent. And I was then forced to go in person, to go and speak to these people, or to the pharmacies. Exactly. I had to go and speak to them and be at their level as well. And, come across as, a person that's just trying their absolute best to help them out, more than having to actually, get money from them and stuff like that. Another key thing is to obviously build the relationship as well. I was just so fortunate enough that I was able to sign every or my independent pharmacies within my pilot program based off one visit, but it may not be like that for you. It may be over a couple of visits and stuff like that. So if it's one thing that I can give you a tip on, is to ensure that you build the relationship first before you start asking for money or anything like that, or before you start sounding like a sales guy or anything like that. Yeah, so just build the relationship with your customer prospect, and try your best to be in their shoes and understand exactly what is it. Um, what is it?
I'm sorry for cutting you. Could you kindly repeat what you said? You said it's necessary to do something
Pardon?
before. Could you kindly repeat what you said? I'm so sorry for cutting you, but you said it's
Oh,
necessary for you to.
no problem, Oscar. I will do that. I will just talk again.
Right.
So the gentleman was just asking me, how did I manage to land my pilot clients? How to land my clients or onto my pilot program and everything like that and so forth. So I got to explain to him that during the incubation program, we've got to, try out a couple of ways to get to your client and stuff. And I was explaining that, I did the digital aspect, whether it's phone calls, emails, social media outreach, or even LinkedIn as well. It worked, but only to a certain extent. And it forced me to now go onto the ground and, go and approach these customers directly on my side. So I had to go to the pharmacies, which is my one of my customer segments, and I had to go and find out exactly what is it that they're struggling with, or what's their main pain points, and so forth. But before I even started to give them the solution and how I can help them and everything like that, I had to build a relationship. So having to find out, what are you struggling with? Why aren't they, on the same line as their competitors? What is it that they think that they're missing, and so on and so forth. So building the relationship, that was the first thing that you would need to do, ideally. And then after I've formalized the relationship with them, that's when I went in with the aspect of pitching the program or the platform that will help all the problems that they listed for me, and how it can be beneficial for them in the short term and in the long term as well, depending on how they want to operate around it and stuff. And yeah, just also knowing exactly what it is you're talking about, not necessarily thumb sucking, or just, talking out of like, thin air or anything like that. Just knowing exactly what it is that you are trying to give or to help them out with was one of my biggest, how can I put it? One of my biggest aspects to kind of landing the person. And then also having the demo available there on spot. So I had the pharmacy portal on my iPad, and whilst I was talking to them, I'd play a little video for them to see exactly how it works and how it would look for them. I made it like also really personal. So I put their name and surname on the platform to make it feel like, they're they're taking seriously, they've been taken seriously and stuff. So yeah, it's mostly around the emotional side of things, having to, feel what it is that they're feeling, their pain, and just finding a way to have a solution for that pain that they're struggling with.
Another question about that is that most of the time people are difficulty to trust you when you come and try to ask about what the pain points are, because I think that maybe you are a competitor, because they had an issue with people like that who came and asked about their pain point, and maybe some information that for them are crucial. I, as a matter of fact, you are doing some inventories for the pharmacies. How do you how do those pharmacies can accept you to have access to their inventory, for instance? How do you succeed into convincing them to do so?
How did I convince them
Yeah, to gain access some crucial information to them?
Oh, okay, to have access to crucial information as such. Um, okay, how can I put it? It's mostly associated around my team slide. So obviously I didn't show them the pitch or have the pitch right then and there when I was talking to them, but because of the team that I have already on my side of things, and obviously in this segment that I'm working in, which is pharmacies, right? I have someone that has more than 25 years of experience with pharmacies and working with X, Y, and Z, and me having the opportunity to kind of ask the person as to what kind of information would I need to relay in order to get into the deeper information from them and such? What is it that I would need to say to them and stuff? So it all comes with like, the information that you're talking to them about, or what it is that you're talking about. So like the technical side of things, I think from there, when they got to see that I was speaking about certain medications, like, whether it was prescription drugs or over-the-counter drugs, I knew the names, or even the really technical ones and stuff like that. I already knew them. I knew what they were for and everything like that. And I think for the fact that I already had a great understanding of, the jargon around medication and stuff like that, it kind of made them feel somewhat, okay, cool. I don't feel like I can't share this with X, Y, and Z and so forth. I know you mentioned something about if you're gonna come across as a competitor and stuff. I used my large chains, or the large chains in South Africa, as a way to kind of get to that information. So what does that mean? So I was more on the independent pharmacy side. I made it seem as if, like, I'm also against the large chains and stuff. I don't want to work with them, or rather I'm trying to make sure that independent pharmacies have, like, a greater competitive, side of things against the large chains. So that also made them somewhat feel comfortable and somewhat seen as well, to make them feel like, oh shoot, you also don't like how they operate, or whatnot. Okay, I don't mind talking to you about X, Y, and Z, because that genuinely did happen. I got to even have access to other information that I didn't even know. So, like, who their suppliers are, or the system that they are using to do their pricing and stuff like that. Information that I didn't even, think I would get and stuff like that. So yeah, just being on their side, I guess, with whatever market that you're operating in. I don't know. Give me an example. What market do you want to work in, Oscar?
Right now, I'm working for independent grocery.
Independent groceries, right? Cool. So you will then put it like this. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm just trying to remix it. I'm using my own way of doing it for pharmacies, but for groceries. I'm assuming the independent grocery stores or places, they don't have like a digital solution or anything like that, right?
They are not having for instance, they are not using the data most of the time.
They're not
They
using that?
they are not using the data that they have for inventory check, even for pricing. They are just doing it with an intuition. Or
They're just
maybe
doing
and
yeah,
and
sorry.
and and sometimes they are doing the same thing that as the competitors because people are selling the good at that price. I'm doing the same even if I'm paying more to get it.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
they don't have this financial insight about the cost of the goods most of the time. They are
Mm.
not doing inventories check most of the time, so they are out of stock.
Okay, I
Most
see. I
time.
see. I see. So how you would then so now that you know what they don't have or how or what they what they're lacking and stuff like that, that's when you can then now present or rather show them, listen, you're missing out on all of these things over here or all of this information or all of this data because you don't have your solution. You don't have a solution to keep track of inventory. You don't have a solution to be able to look at, the pricing of certain products and stuff like that. If you have this, you'll be able to now um, differentiate yourself amongst not only the independent grocery field, but also amongst the local chains in your market as such. That should be that should definitely be like a convincing element to your clients or to your customer to say, actually, I think you're onto something here, Oscar. How do I what more information would you like from me and stuff like that? I think just having that your solution available already there, or your demo, or your prototype, that usually speaks for you and does all the speaking for you and the convincing for you without you having to do any more further work. Ideally, what you would get from or after showing your prototype, they'll ask more and more questions on your thing, and that's when you've got them. Then you start, telling them exactly, yo, this can do this as well for you. If you didn't know, whatever it is that you're trying to create, having that demo there for you, or there when you're speaking to them, and do the talking for you, it's going to help you a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool.
All right. Thank you very much, Lumunga. My name is Namdi Oje.
Hi,
Very
Namdi
good.
Oje. How are you?
I'm very fine. I'm really excited having you in this bootcamp and your shared experience. I have two questions for you. First of all, the first question I want to ask is, this success you just shared about you winning up, were you able to achieve this within 3 days in a bootcamp like this? Because we just have 3 days, and some of the ideas you've already answered this before about some of the ideas that's just coming up is between 3 days. If I just developing it within 3 days. So I wanted to ask, it's as if this thought is already been in you beforehand. So you were just having an opportunity, then you exploit. And then my
So,
second question.
sorry, Namdi, do you mind just typing your question there in the chat, because I don't know why it's having a connection,
Okay,
like
well, let me.
barrier.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me, Papa?
I'll
Can you
wait
hear
for
me
you. I'll wait
properly?
for you. I'll wait for you.
Okay.
In the meantime, guys, a couple of you are asking about the pitch deck. Should we use the ALX template? Should we do it? Can we do it in another space? So what I would suggest is use the ALX template. Okay, so you have the grounding, right? Then if you want to go into Gamma.app. So that's the software that Luba used to basically beautify his slides. And you can actually upload the ALX template that you have edited and put it into Gamma, and it can create it and make it more aligned with your brand. Okay, so you can do that too. I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, Namdi, I'm still
Thanks,
waiting for your
Nicole.
question, but
Thanks so much, Nicole. Luba, please, I have a
yes,
question.
talk to me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. This cousin once again. So basically, I wanted to check. So because of this cohort and design bootcamp, we have opportunity to pitch our decks, to pitch our slides and all of the things we've been working on. So in a situation whereby you're working alone or you have ideas or you've ideated things and you have some business idea or some product ideas that you feel like you want to launch, but then you don't have this bootcamp access or you don't have any of this. Do you look for events where you go and look for investors to pitch your programs to? Or how do you do in such situations? What do you do?
All right,
Are there
cool.
like places where you can go
Mhm.
to look for investors or to get fundings or things that you can do to get your solutions live?
Okay, cool. Not a problem. All right. Do I look for events, for investor events and stuff like that? So the cool thing about being within ALX, once you've completed, whether it's the boot camp or any other program that they have, you get like put into an alumni group, right? Where now other pitching opportunities are shared there quite often. Obviously now since it's December time, it's like more quiet down and it's relaxed time and not there's no like opportunities and stuff like that. But when you're within that that what is it, that community group, there's a section where opportunities are posted, if not daily, every week, if I can put it and stuff. So you can also use that as a way for you to go and pitch, or use those opportunities for you to go pitch at and stuff. On my side of things, with the opportunities that I was presented by ALX, and I took advantage of them and stuff like that, I also went to go look for other ones as well that that I was interested in, or that my or rather that my niche is focused on. So I'm in health tech, so I try my best to look for no health tech opportunities, whether it's funding opportunities, whether it's venture capital round events, or opportunities and stuff like that. I do my own due diligence as well, my own homework. I'm not only spoon fed. It's not the right way to go about it. But yeah, I use ALX's opportunities, and I also go and use my own ones as well.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, not a problem, man.
Hello.
Okay. Hi,
Hello,
Michael.
Patrick.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
Great, thanks
So,
to yourself. How can I help?
yeah, I have a question concerning team building and co-founding. So I've been listening to some founders lately, and they're mostly about get a co-founder, get a co-founder. But at this stage where I'm in the idea stage, though I'm seeking for funding, and my question is basically, what are my chances of getting funded if I don't have a co-founder or a team yet? Even though I have experience in what I'm building, and I use more of freelancers and collaborators, and I'm building lean. So I'm not building big, I'm building lean. So what are my chances of getting funded? And will investors take me serious even though I don't have co-founders? Hope you understand my question.
Okay, cool. So you want to know how to get a co-founder, if not mistaken, right? That was your question, eh?
No. My question is, what are my chances of getting funded?
Or what
Of
are your
getting
chances of being a co-founder?
of getting funded by investors if I don't have co-founders or a team yet.
Oh, I see what you mean. You don't, whether you have a co-founder or you're on your own, it doesn't necessarily, ruin any of your chances of, getting funding or anything like that. I feel like if you are the only founder of your company and you know your homework and you have the relevant experience, a side of things for whatever product that you're trying to create, that should be good enough and stuff. I think also having a co-founder can be a W or an advantage because it now shows your audience, judge, or investor that you're not taking it all onto your shoulders. You're bold enough, or you're much of a leader enough to kind of delegate other operations to a co-founder or to another side or part of your team and stuff like that. That can also be an advantage. So it works both ways. It genuinely does work both ways. On my side, I needed to have a co-founder because I needed deep insight information within the pharmaceutical space or operation side of things in pharmaceutical retail and such, and which I didn't have, and that's why I decided to rope them in as a co-founder, and it ended up making the product more credible, if that makes sense. But if I already knew that knowledge from the jump, I was a pharmacist by myself and everything like that, and I was also a techie. I knew how to create my own applications and stuff, and I managed to create something with both of those two elements. That is still also going to be a W. So either or, they both work for you.
All right, thank you very much.
Cool. Cool,
Okay.
Mike. Any other questions from anyone else?
Thank you.
Yeah, hello. So
Hi, sir. Hi, who's talking? Is it Mabude or
hello.
Sahid?
Yeah, this side here.
Hi,
okay,
Sahid. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for.
I think you have your mic covered or something. You sound muffled.
all right, maybe I should just go ahead.
Okay, much better.
So my question is on when you were talking about the moat around the business model. So I was thinking, what if your idea is more like built or dependent on who you regard as your competitor? Now, in that sense, making them an indirect competitor. So whether it's your moat or or some part of your business model now, it's has a dependencies on the competitors' platform or products, right? And in that sense, your own moat now becomes more like a complementary product to the to that industry, right? But in that case, it's not a direct threat, or neither is it a core niche of the competitor.
Okay, cool. So, all right. I think what will make it easier if you tell me exactly what is it that you're doing, so maybe I can help give you examples or something as such. So, yeah, what are you doing, or what market are you trying to get into?
So I'm looking to get into like a distribution ecosystem for African original content, but not necessarily like trying to do the next Netflix or trying to do the next YouTube, but trying to build like an infrastructure that's that enables whatever that is missing in that space.
Okay, cool. I get you. I see it. I think we had someone in the incubator who was doing something similar to what you're doing.
Yeah, I could.
And
Yeah, the
he
prototype
had
with
to
you.
like kind of change things there and then so that he stands out from his competitors and
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, so um look, at the beginning, because I assume that so which competitor are you dependent on? Is it YouTube?
Yeah, you're trying to create some sort of an ecosystem enablement for the African content, so you have different features that enables different areas of distribution, creating more distribution availability for this content, and which is
Okay.
not YouTube's core niche. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think so. Depending on how long you move or what your, I don't know, your projections are like and stuff. So, like for me, example, I need to depend on a third party delivery or logistics service to get my medication to the patients, right? So
Yeah.
for the first 6 months, I have to depend on them and everything and stuff. So using the services and to pay them, but within that, but within that 6 months, I'm going to be actively recruiting drivers or people that are interested in driving for Pharmanix and delivering products and stuff like that, and building my fleet basically. You know, whether it's bikes, cars, whatever, really, and stuff. So I'm going to be building my own fleet and stuff, so that after the 6 months, I can now end the contract and then do it on my own and stuff and such, and have my own delivery logistics system in place. On your side of things, so ideally, yes, you're gonna have to use the services that are available right now, Facebook or YouTube and stuff like that. And then whilst you are, pushing the content there and everything like that, you will then have to have your own system or your own streaming service or whatever service, or however you're trying to make it and stuff like that available. That'll be the one way to also stand out as a differentiator. And then from that tool that you have, you need to look at all the tools that are available, what features, the playback feature or the window screen feature where you can, like, minimize and then go to your other stuff. Those are the things that you're gonna kind of need to, I don't know, talk about or mention, so that it entices people to leave Facebook or leave YouTube to go onto your platform, so that it's easy for them to kind of use your platform and also learn at the same time as well. I'm hoping that can kind of help you see how you can go about doing it.
Makes sense. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, so you just use them for the time that you need to use them, but whilst you are using them, you need to be creating your own system that makes you stand out. So I'm just trying to think of other features that you can have. So, like, the dual watching thing where, other people from a different place can watch it while you're watching at the same time. There's a lot of other features that you can, add to it and stuff, or add on and everything that maybe Netflix or YouTube or all these other guys don't have and stuff. You're just gonna have to be really creative around it as well. So, like, maybe even like live captions that are in different languages, because I know with these platforms they only focus on like the top 10 or 11 main languages in the on the planet and stuff like that, and they often like leave out the languages in Africa and stuff like that, so that you can also add that as your USP, as your unique selling point as well.
Awesome. Thank you. I
Cool.
appreciate it.
No problem. Mebude, that's your name, right?
Yeah, that's my name. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, next question from anyone else?
Are we going to finish early today, guys? Mercy, go ahead.
Hi, I have a question.
Hi, Mercy.
Oh, hi, Luba. Okay, so I have a question about prototype. Is it, since, for example, I'm a stylist and I already have a
May I go ahead,
styling
please?
brand? Yes.
Sorry. I think someone just was interrupting you. So you're a stylist and you got a something style. What do you have?
So I'm asking, since we have to create a prototype and then include it in our pitch deck, so if you already have a brand, is it applicable to create a prototype, or how do we go about it? And also, like, since my brand is in the styling industry, is it applicable for this pitch deck, or is it just for tech companies.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna try my best to answer the question from what I heard. So, you're a stylist and you're in the stylist industry, and you don't know what to showcase for your pitch deck based off the market that you're working in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, the solution that you have, is it tech related?
No, like styling is the fashion industry, so I'm wondering like how can I connect the two?
Okay, cool. Sweet. I mean, all right, let me see if I can try and help you brainstorm and stuff. So you are struggling to connect fashion and technology together, yeah? As a stylist and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, okay, then let me think. Let me see. Why not create a solution that, yeah, someone wants to go to an event and they have a certain dress code and stuff, but the person doesn't know what to dress or what to wear and stuff like that. Maybe you can have like an app that like takes a picture of the clothes that the person has and stuff, like their best clothes or whatever and stuff, and then it has a feature or an option whereby you tell it, okay, I'm going to this event, this is the dress code, these are the clothes that I have, help me style it in a way that looks really great or something. And then yeah, the app then creates like a little mock-up of how you would look and everything like that. So it even has like a picture of your face or your body type, whatever and stuff. I think that's a way that you can try to incorporate the two together. I'm not sure if that helps you or anything.
Luba, that's an amazing idea, by the way. I
Does
just want to
it?
mention.
Yes,
It's a great
amazing.
idea. Mercy, if you are a
Never
little bit
thought of
more,
it like that.
sorry?
Sorry, Mercy, you were saying?
No, I was just saying that's such a great idea. I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the reason why I'm telling you is because within the ALX incubator program, giving you insight here now, they're mostly looking for tech related unicorns or industry disruptors or ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, whatever that you're doing and you don't necessarily know how to and you want to get into the incubator, it's in your best interest to find a way to incorporate technology with it that can solve a pain point, a pain problem. So yeah, you can be a stylist now from a distance now. You don't have to necessarily go to someone's house. It can be done on the phone and everything like that, or however you see it going. Even virtual reality glasses, like, oh, there's so many ideas that you can go around it. But yeah, tech related.
Okay, and I also wanted to ask that since it's already something that exists, do I have to really create a prototype so that I can
Since
include
it's
it in the
you said since it's what?
since it's already a brand that exists, do I have to create a prototype so that I can include it on my pitch deck?
Yes, yes, yes. So I provided a link for a tool called Roark, RORK. Um, it allows you to kind of build the whole prototype and stuff like that, all based off a prompt that you have for the particular idea. So in this case, what you'll do is you'll go to ChatGPT and you say, I am a stylist and I want to find a way to incorporate technology into the business I'm trying to create. And then you tell it the app is going to do this, the taking pictures of the clothes. It's going to design a style for you based off the event that you're heading to, blah 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 blah. And then the ChatGPT builds the prompt for you for Rourke. Then you take or you copy that prompt, and then you take it all the way to the Rock platform, and then you just paste it there. Obviously, within the prompt, you gotta mention the colors that you want, your color scheme as well, the logo as well of how you want it to look or where you want it placed and stuff like that. If you want, you can look for other examples online or something. I'm not too sure, and then just add it all onto the AI section for Rourke, and then you paste it there, and then like 5 to 10 minutes, it should have something already for you, like a whole prototype, a working prototype. You can click on the buttons, takes you to certain screens, blah, 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 and stuff. That's what I used for my platform as well. So yeah, you just do that. And then usually there's like a link where you can share for people to kind of interact with the demo or with the prototype. If that's going to be a bit challenging, I guess you can just have like a video of the actual prototype of how it's working as such.
Okay, that is really helpful. Thank you so much, Luba.
No problem, Mercy. Yes, Damien, it's an AI chatbot. Yeah, it is an AI chatbot. If you guys want, how much time do I have left? 15. Okay. If you guys want, I can just show you how it works and stuff if you want that. I don't know. You guys just let me know in the chat section.
Hello, Luba.
Yes, please. That would be nice.
All right, cool. Let me just ask, I think who's talking? Is it Matlati that wants to talk?
All good.
All right, cool. All right. So are you fine? Okay, cool, fine. All right, let me just quickly show you guys.
Sorry, hold on. Boipelo, please unmute and go ahead.
Sorry, Nicole, who can go
Hi,
ahead?
hi, Luba.
Hi.
Who? Hi. My name is Bipilo. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Not a problem.
I just wanted to find out. I am into agriculture, and my biggest hindrance has been lack of data in within South Africa, because my idea, I wanted it to be relevant to South Africa. My goal is to start local and just thinking global, just to grow it, scale it to global. But I wanted like a presence on online. So I have been using mostly like international data. So because of lack of data or data accessibility in South Africa. So I wanted you to, because you have started something, even though it was there before, but it was unique to you to solve a specific problem. So what advice can you give me in terms of just finding some data within our country to try and get my project out there to market myself, basically?
Not a problem.
Yes,
Okay,
thank
cool.
you.
All right, cool. Before I can answer, so you're in agriculture, right? So what are you trying to
Yes.
solve within agriculture?
I am trying to integrate data science to kind of bring some insight on the prevalent problems like prediction of weather, help small-scale farmers to scale up or to make their businesses profitable, because I've seen that there are a lot of job losses, and these small-scale farmers, they have to work and manage their farms using their salaries. So just to try and see what the root cause of how we can better support them to make sure that they contribute to the GDP of the country and for the livelihood of not just their families and their communities as well.
Okay, cool. All right. So it's like a whole big ecosystem that you're trying to solve and everything like that. Okay, and I see why you require data. So when you've done your research, it's kind of hard to find the data, I assume, yeah?
Yes, I have interviewed some farmers, but the problem is they don't have any record keeping. They don't really record anything. So they just hoarding animals and crops and hoping that crops will grow. But because of the unpredictable weather, they kind of always have losses in their farms.
Okay. I can suggest a tool that might be able to help you. It's an AI tool that acts as like an agent that does like, deep research for you and stuff like that based off what it is that you're trying to get to or get understanding of. Do you know of a tool called Manus? MANUS.
MANUS.
Yeah,
No, never heard
MANUS.
of it.
So
Not
it's for
really.
free to use. It's for free to use. Obviously there's like certain credits and stuff like that that
Mm-hmm.
time out during the day, but every day it renews with new credits and stuff. See if you
Okay.
can use the agent mode or the deep research mode. But yeah, it basically behaves like ChatGPT or like Gemini and stuff like that. It gives you a section to type in exactly what you're looking for. But the nice thing about Manus is that it goes really, really in depth, like, even in other segments that you didn't even necessarily think of and stuff. And it
Yeah.
does the what's the term I'm looking for? Web surfing. So yes, like you said, you've done your own research, but there's probably other parts where you didn't even see that there's the information that you're looking for and stuff like that. And it does it in record time as well. So you can use Manus AI,
Yeah.
describe exactly what it is that you're looking for or what it is that you want to do, and have it to do like the deep research on that part that you're trying to gain access to. Obviously, you can narrow it down to South Africa as well, to telling it to only focus on South Africa. If my advice,
Yeah.
do your best just to only focus on South Africa right now, because that's where you're at right now, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, the whole global expansion thing and
It's
continent
long
expansion stuff,
term.
just wait
Yes.
a little bit
Forward.
on
Yeah.
that. Don't focus on that part now. Focus
Yeah.
on the South African one, because whatever information and data you gather and solutions you formulate from the research you've done in South Africa, you'll be able to kind of use that to go into the other parts of the continent and the planet itself. So yeah, just focus
Okay.
purely on South Africa for now. Everything else
Yeah.
will come later. And it'll be a lot easier as well, because you already know what not to do and what to do as well, based off the
Yes. Yes.
experience you've had looking
Yeah.
into the African market.
No, thank you so much for your advice, because right now I've just developed, which took me close to a year to get the data. I've developed an app where you can take a sample of your sand and then analyze nitrogen, to
That's
check
cool.
what you can grow on that land and what fertilizers you would need. So if I
Nice.
go there,
Is that what you're adding for your pitch deck, ne?
Not really. I was hoping to focus on your small scale farmers, but I don't know. I'll think about it.
I think that one will be really cool, because yeah, imagine a farmer now, they've planted X amount of crops and
Yeah.
they're just not working. And they're like, I don't know where to
Yes.
even go about it. I don't
Yeah.
have the time or research to go look throughout the books in the library. Imagine now just having the library in your pocket to scan
Yeah.
the plant and then busy telling you, oh, there's a lack of potassium, lack of nitrogen. Like there's not enough calcium. It's doing this because of X, Y, and Z, or
Yeah.
it's been poisoned by a certain, I don't know, whatever per se. So I think maybe use that to
Okay.
go into
No.
the whole pitch and such, because that one is a lot more strong and, like I said, tech related as well. And it's like it's an industry disruptor. I think there is like one or two companies that I know that are doing that, but it's more general. But then with you, it's
Yes.
your niche is focused on farmers. So I think that
Yeah.
will really work for you.
Yeah. No, I see the results already, because what I've recommended, now that it's almost harvest time, some farmers are actually for the first time, they're getting profits in their what they
Exactly.
have sown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Like
all
having
you do.
someone there watching with them, helping them on their farming journey and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'd use that one. I'd use that one.
Absolutely. Thank you for the advice. Thank you
Not a
so
problem.
much.
Not a problem.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Same to
Bye.
you. Same to you. All right, let me just quickly do the Rourke tutorial so that you guys get a better understanding of what it is that I was talking about. I'll just use Mercy's example. I'm just sharing my screen. Cool. Let's go to ChatGPT. So you guys can see, I assume. Okay, I'm going to use temporary chat. Let's say I am a stylist that helps people with their fashion choices. Fashion choices. I want to create an app that helps.
Hi, sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes, talk to me while I do this thing over here.
Okay, it's actually for you and Nicole. I've been meaning to ask this for like 2 days, but I keep forgetting. It's about the LCM. Is it
The
okay
lean
if,
canvas model.
yeah, is it okay if we have more than one problem statement, like a primary and a secondary statement?
Is the problem rooted to that one thing? Like so you want to have two different problems, right? But is it unified? Is it a unified problem or is it two separate ones?
No, they're like unified, but they're like connected.
They're like connected. Okay, you can try to. I'd advise sticking to one problem so that it's really clear and straight to the point. But if you can find a way to make two and two work together, because on my side, I spoke about having to not be able to see or know of other pharmacies that sell the medication you just bought at a cheaper option, and then also providing an option for people who don't have the necessary time to go and see or visit a pharmacy before they close and stuff, because usually people are busy and stuff to go and get the medication. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if it's unified to the main problem, I guess you can, but try your best to just stick to one if I can give you advice on that part.
Got it.
And
Thank
make
you.
sure your solution is aligned to the problem. Because a lot of times we find the solution and the problems don't actually work together.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Prompt for this app. Cool. And then you can just add maybe the thinking feature just for it to completely understand what it is that you are asking for. Okay. Maybe take like 2 minutes. Okay, cool. So then what you'll do here is just obviously have a look to see if the information that you want there is fine. Don't worry, this is not code or anything like that. It's just giving you a whole breakdown of what it's going to basically do or what the app is going to do. And then you just press copy over there. And then you go to Rourke. And then you just press the plus button. And then you paste what you just copied from ChatGPT. And then you say create. So when it's done, yeah, you can notify me. Allow. Cool. So sometimes it takes a lot longer because it depends on the project that you're building and stuff, but it's going to do its thing, and then it will show you the application afterwards. So for now, we'll just minimize it and then, focus on any other questions in the time being. And then when it's done, I'll just show you what Rourke created from the
Hi,
prompt.
Luba.
Hi,
Okay.
Choma.
Okay, please, can I ask a question before the prompt comes up? Thank you.
Wait, can you repeat that for me?
Then can I ask a question before the prompt comes up?
Yeah, you can ask the question.
Okay, it on the slide. How we need like someone to review our own slides in case if you prefer. How can we reach out to you for review? Then to like kind of a mentorship guide because we are a new startup.
So,
Myself and I think we startup, so we
okay,
need a kind of mentor or someone that can review our slides. Yeah, get
okay. All right, cool, not a problem. So you want me to, I don't know, review your pitch deck and everything before you submit, or what? I think that was a question she asked.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
cool. Yeah, it was asked earlier on. I just said that we'll create a poll. I guess I don't know who the admin is for your guys' group because I'm not in all the other groups throughout the continent. I'm only on the one within South Africa. So I think a poll will be created, and if there is like a demand or something like that, I'd be delighted to join and be on the call just to kind of see what your guys' pitches are like so far, and then give you advice on what to do or what to reduce on or what to add and everything. But that will be entirely it'll be entirely up to you, the people that want to have it and stuff like that. And then when there is, I don't know, a significant amount, I think I will be added to that group or to one of those groups or some form of fashion. There will be a way to kind of facilitate the whole pitch feedback thing.
Sorry, Luba, I just wanted to touch base. Are you going to be in the office hours tomorrow and Friday?
As in me being at ALX?
No, in the office hours in the submission sessions.
What time is it from or anything like that?
1 till 2, Thursday and Friday.
And
One.
it's virtual. You're not coming.
I wasn't aware of that, but if that's something I can, I don't know, hop onto or be on, will that simplify what they're asking in regards to the whole review thing?
Yeah, because, sorry, Nkechi, did you want to say something?
I was saying that it's virtual. He's not coming to the hub.
Yeah, it's virtual. So it's all online, and it might be an idea if you do jump in, because I know there are going to be different breakout rooms for different sprints. So if they come on and they jump into the pitch deck sprint, then you can support there as opposed to us doing a whole new session on it.
Oh, sweet. That makes things a lot easier and stuff. Yeah. Just send me the links to join tomorrow or Thursday and Friday, and I'll be
Okay, I've
happy.
invited you to the calendar invite.
All right, cool. Not a stress. We can do that. Any other questions and stuff while we still wait for work
I
to
have a
build?
question. Good
Hi,
afternoon,
Anthony.
Luba.
Hi, Anthony.
Good afternoon. I wanted to ask about something. It's quite bothersome. Um, I'm not technical. Like I don't have technical skills. I recently graduated and I've been having a couple of digital ideas, but um I have a lot of things. I literally have a career path, but so that I have to pursue. But um I feel like this solution can do something, do a lot for people in Lagos and Nigeria where I stay. Is something we talk about a lot amongst my friends while in school. So the couple of hackathon programs that I have seen, they require technical skills like to file for participation. So I just wanted to know if I recently started a course in product management. So I wanted to know if you have any idea where um any of this um these setups that gives you access, that gives non-technical people access to pitch their product ideas and all of that, aside from ones that I guess the ones you've been talking about on here are ones that are for existing entrepreneurs that they have
everything all set up already and they just want to scale or something?
Okay, cool. I'm gonna try and answer your question from what I could hear. It was just cutting most of the time. So you were just saying that you're not a technical person, like you're not, tech savvy in
Yes.
terms of like, creating
Yes, just
applications.
it. Yeah, no, just data analytics, and I recently started a course in product management, so that's just all I have for now.
That's all that you have for now. Okay, cool. No, not a problem at all whatsoever. This the whole thing that ALX is trying to do and stuff like that. You don't necessarily have to be, tech savvy or anything like that and so forth. In fact, depending on how long or how much time you spend within ALX and stuff and so forth, you might even find yourself a co-founder that can help with you on the technical side of things based off the product that you want to build and stuff. So obviously in this part of having to do your submissions and stuff like that. Okay, we're gonna look at the app just now. Obviously during the whole submission and stuff like that, you don't necessarily have to have, the whole technical side of what it is that you're trying to do and everything like that. Should you get selected and, you get processed and interviewed to be a part of the incubator and everything like that, everything that you are busy stressing about, you will learn about it within the program itself. If it means that you're not going to be the one who's going to be, the tech side of things of building whatever it is that you're building, you might be fortunate enough to find a co-founder within the program as well and to help you with whatever it is that you're trying to build and so forth. But ideally within the program itself, they try their absolute best to give you the tools to do it on your own, or tools that are not technical either as well, to help you build whatever it is that you're trying to build or create. I hope that helps.
Yeah, that helps. Thank you a lot.
Yeah, so just apply still, bro. It's not only focused on people that already have businesses or anything like that. I didn't have a business. Farminix didn't exist when I was applying for the courses within ALX. So I did the whole Founder Academy process, and then I then went on to do the incubator as well. But during that time, I didn't have a solid thing already in place. It was just the idea in my mind. And yeah, that's about it. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Not a problem, Anthony. Cool. Let's go have a look at the app now, just so you guys can see. Okay. Let me press home. Okay, let me shut it down. Okay, refresh. Okay, let's do that. What's this? Okay, no, that's the call. You said the app was ready. Show it to me. Okay, let me close the program. Open it up. I just realized I don't think you guys can actually see my screen. I need to quickly share. Resume. Cool. Okay, I'm sure you guys can see. Okay, let me just do this. Go back to the program. Work. Cool. So as you guys can see, from that prompt alone, it was able to create this section over here. So we're gonna try to get into it. Next, and then get started. Great. So it basically tried to create what it is that I had in mind and everything like that. Obviously, it's not perfect. It still requires a bit of iteration, but this was just based off the prompt that we made on ChatGPT and then applied it onto Rourke. Yeah, it does the whole thing over here. Add item photo of how you want to get styled. It goes into details as well over there, and so forth. So if you want to dress up as business casual, I guess it does its work there. And let's see if the camera works. The camera does work. Yep, as you guys can see, the camera works over there. And then you can also select stuff from your gallery as well if you already have pictures that were already taken and such. And yeah, I hope you guys can basically see how easy it is to use the tool that I recommended to you guys and stuff. Pretty self-explanatory. It's not even that difficult at all whatsoever. Obviously, if you need to do more iterations, because I think within a day they give you like 5 prompts or 5 chances to fix whatever it is that you're fixing. But if you need more, you're obviously going to pay. I think it's like $20, which is 400 Rand in South African rands. And then the other countries, I'm not sure what currencies they're using, but $20. I'm hoping you guys can do your own conversions as such. Please can you paste the prompt you used? Okay, cool. I'll paste the prompt over here. I'm not sure what you're going to use it for. But yeah, that's how you can use the Rourke tool. The site can't be reached, refuse to connect. See if you can download it on whatever system that you're using. So if you're using your phone, because you can also code it on your phone or do the whole thing on your phone. You don't have to do it on a laptop or a PC and stuff. Try using a different browser as well. I use Chrome, so use Chrome. Don't use it on like Safari or Bing. Try use it on Chrome. I think it's Chrome friendly. What other questions are there? I have mixed a lot on this program. I wish I joined early. Okay. So how can it be made better and more responsive? When you talk to the AI, so I didn't show you how to talk to the AI. So is this black dot over here? Let me just share my screen. Cool. So how do you fix it and stuff? So there's this black dot over here, and you don't necessarily have to worry about all this information at the top. That's the coding agent that kind of solves all of this stuff for you. When you want to fix something, you just basically talk over here. I want to change the color. Let's say I want to change the color scheme to a yellow and blue. And then if you already have like examples or anything like that you want to attach and stuff, you can just click over there and you select where you want to get the image from, or wherever. If you want to take a picture with your phone or with the device that you're using, you can do that. I'm just trying to think what else you need to know. You guys don't have to worry too much about the AI model per se. If you clued up on the learning languages that are available in the market right now, then you can obviously use the models that are available there to fit whatever prompt or iteration that you're trying to do and stuff as such. But fixing it and stuff, that's how you do it. You just click on the black dot and then it shows you the screen over here. And then you only focus here at the bottom where you enter what it is that you're trying to fix. So I said I want to change the color scheme to a yellow and blue color. And then you click send. And then now Rourke is thinking, the user wants to change, blah, blah, blah. Let me read. I'll update the color scheme to yellow and blue for you. So yeah, it's basically doing everything for you right now, the coding and the editing side of things for your application and stuff. I'd show you how to deploy it, but I can't because I haven't done that part as of yet because I'm still busy iterating and fixing and stuff. I'll just try and share what I've done and created and as such when I'm officially in the market, and then I'll share it on the groups or on ALX and stuff, and then maybe you guys can have access to that information. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's rebuilding the app right now. Just check the app is now vibrant blue and yellow. Okay. Okay, Okay, let me just close the program just to reset it. Cool, I'm sure you guys saw from the preview. Now it's in yellow and blue. So obviously, if I was more specific, it would have given it to me in the way that the yellow that I was looking for, or the blue that I was looking for. As such, what did it say? It also picks up on errors as well to fix for you without you having to, do it for you or do it for yourself. As such, so that's how great the tool is and stuff. So I don't know what is it trying to fix, something in code and everything like that. But you don't necessarily have to worry about that. But yeah, that's how you use the Rourke platform as such. I see someone says they have a question to ask. I think it's Alemayu. Alamayu, I think that's his name.
Yes, yeah. Hi, Luba. How you doing?
Great, thanks on yourself, sir.
Yeah, this is Adamayo. You can call me Alex. I'm from Ethiopia.
Awesome.
I have a quick question for you, sir.
Okay, cool. I'm listening.
Okay. I just like 3 months ago, I just built an app that can do a promotion performance because I'm in a commerce company. I work for a corporate company, so I see the gap in our company that every time that we did promotion, there is no any certain database they can keep all the data that we can use it for a future. So I just want to fill that gap. So I develop an app that can predict for the future promotion through the previous promotion by calculating the return on investment, if there is any growth on such retail outlets. It could be in supermarket, it could be in a restaurant, such kind of outlets. So I already built the app by using a cursor, which I think that's the AI, open AI. So I embedded with the machine learning and it's on OpenAI, so it can predict, it can give us an insight by analyzing all the data. So for trial, I just only input almost a data for 100 outlets using CSV file. But in further, like we do all the national wide promotion. So we have that a bunch of data. So I was thinking how I can embed it with a backend database separately. So at any time that we need to run a promotion, it can access the data. I was wondering, you can give me any insight that I can work on that.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So you just cut off a little bit towards the end there, but it's not a stress. So you want to create a tool that's able to kind of give you insights based on the promotions, performance, and everything like that. Am I getting that correct?
Yes, definitely. Yep. Yep.
Cool. I mean, it sounds like you're already pretty, experienced with, because if you're using Cursor, because Cursor is like, for like an actual developer or a person that's been in development and stuff like that for quite some time. It's more just like, a chatbot that assists and tells you where to go about and stuff. I think that's great. I think it can definitely uh, solve that issue or that gap within the company, especially if you're the only one who's really picked up on it and no one else has, or they don't have a solution for it. Yeah, just having an AI over there that gives you insights based off what's happening, giving whether it's in a report format where like it digests the data that you've given it, and then it creates slides off of it. So it can either create slides or data reports in whatever format, being it CSV, like you had mentioned, or PDF, or I don't know, PPTX, whatever it is, and stuff like that. I think that can work. My only thing I could say is then how would you be different? Because I'm assuming, are you only using it for your company that you're working for, or do you see yourself scaling it to other companies that could potentially utilize the solution that you're trying to create?
Currently, I just want to pilot it in our company. So I can see how it is going on. After that, I can go big. After that, I can design it for those company in the same market we are in.
Yeah.
So I think for the resource, and for the things going on, right now I just want to use it in my company.
Okay, cool. No, that's a nice spot to start in, and obviously to test as much as you can and everything like that. My suggestion is for you to build this thing first. So build it. We're using whatever tool that you are using to build, so like Cursor. Build it, test it as much as possibly on your side, and then now go to the I don't know who you report to at this company and stuff, and then speak to them and tell them, listen, I've identified X, Y, and Z, or a gap in this department within this e-commerce company that we're working for and stuff. And I've created a tool that's going to help us, catch up on those things that we were missing out on, or the things that we're struggling to work on. And then obviously have the formal conversation with your supervisor. And then if he or she likes it, then they can take it a further step up and so forth. And then you'll have the permission to kind of gain access to all their data and to kind of, create the solution that you're trying to make for them. And then once you've done that, and once you've done the actual testing within the company, with whoever you're connected with within the company and stuff, and then that's when you can start to see as to how it could help out other people as well, or other companies as well, because you're going to get a lot of insights as well on things that you didn't even think of, or things that you didn't see that actually I can add on to the tool itself. And then from whatever you've basically learned and experienced and failed at and succeeded on, you'll then be able to take that product and then scale it to other companies, but like in a custom way, if that makes sense. So like other companies might not have the same problem as the one that you're having now, but it might be similar and they want to also focus on something else. You'd be able to use that as that data that you've collected.
Okay, thank you, Luba. Thank you so much.
I hope I helped you or I answered your question or anything like that. If you still feel like I haven't, please feel free just to let me know.
All right, guys, we are going to wrap here. Luba is all questioned out. So thank you so much, Luba. Nkechi, Ruth, do you guys have any last notes that you want to share?
Yes, definitely. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much to the over 200 of you that are still on the call. You are all resilient. Emmanuel has been here with his video on, and I see him moving around with his paper and just doing the work, just like the rest of you. Thank you so much. So just to share a few things, today is the last day for the bootcamp. So as you all know, it's a 3-day bootcamp, right? So today is the last. Now, you've gone through 3 sprints of the Founder Academy program. The first one is the Lean Canvas model, and we encouraged you to work on it. If you have worked on your Lean Canvas model, type LCM in the chat. If you've worked on your Lean Canvas model, type LCM in the chat. Okay, the second sprint was yesterday, where you all went through a class on minimum viable products development. If you have done your minimum viable product development, type MVP in the chat. Type MVP in the chat. Now, yes, Monday and Tuesday, we asked you to upload the links to these deliverables on the feedback form. Today, we're giving you another form, which is your graduation form, which is the official submission form for all the deliverables you've been working for. So your LCM, your MVP, and your pitch deck. You are expected to upload every one of them in this form that I have just shared. So I've pasted it in the chat. Please copy and save it now somewhere. Please copy and save it somewhere. Copy and save it somewhere so that you can always go back to it. So your LCM, your MVP, and the pitch deck, you should submit all of them in this form that I just shared. This is your graduation form. That's the official program submission form. Once you have submitted all 3 forms here, you have graduated from the program and eligible to receive your certificate. Also eligible to apply to join the incubator, where you will go through a 3-month mentoring entrepreneurship program that will support you in further refining your ideas, working through your product market fit, introducing you to investors, and then even an opportunity for you to pitch to win some money for your business. So it all starts from this form, right? You've been here for 3 days. Please do not miss out submitting on this form. Please do not miss out on submitting your deliverables on this form that I just shared. It doesn't have to be perfect. We know that some of you came into this program with just ideas. Some came in with no ideas. So what we are looking for at this stage is not perfection. We're not looking for perfect lean canvas models. We're not looking for perfect pitch decks or perfect MVPs. We just want to see that you understand the concept to some extent. And proof of that is the submission of all the deliverables using the form that I just shared here. Now, how should you submit the forms? How should you submit the deliverables? For the lean canvas model, you are expected to submit it as a PDF. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that, how to convert the Google slide you've worked on to how to convert the Google slide you just worked on to a PDF. All right, let me know if you can give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, please give me.
We can see the final submission form
Yes,
invite.
I'm going to send out this reminder to you all by 6 p.m. today. But so just keeping it here for now. So this is so when you click on the link to the LCM template, this is what it shows you. So you click on make a copy. When you click on make a copy, you open Canvas model templates. So what you should do, start by editing this. Just leave it as the Founder Academy template, or just put your name here or your business name here. Put your name or your business name here, edit this, put your business name, and then type here, click on the type here to activate the text boxes, and then type in your own text or using all the prompts here. Once you're done, to your top left, click on file. When you click on file, you can see download here, right? You can see download here. Click on PDF. Click on PDF. Once you do that, can you see my cursor here? It's been downloaded already. That's it here. This is what you're expected to submit. So you go to the form. This is the form here. You go to the form. You click on, this is the form, right? After you've added your name, make sure you use the email address that you used in signing up for this program. Then put in your startup name. If you're not sure what your startup name would be, give it a random name. Again, we're not looking for perfection at this stage, right? So my video is not on. We're not looking for perfection at this stage. We just want to know that you understand the concept. So, all right. Okay. So once you're done adding the requested questions, click on upload file. When you click on upload file, it should take you to your laptop with the list of your downloads, and this is desktop. Find the link canvas model that you just downloaded, find it and upload here, right? You do the same for your pitch deck. Do the same for your pitch deck. Convert the pitch deck to a PDF, convert it to a PDF and code. Then for your MVP, the lovable link, does everybody know how to get their lovable link? If you used lovable yesterday and you know how to get your link, type yes. If you don't know how to get your lovable link, and you've done the work, type no, so that we can show you how to do that. Now, someone asked me, I have built my product, it's live. Should I create another MVP? No, you don't have to create another MVP. Submit the product that you built before coming into this program. Submit that, okay? You don't have to build an MVP if you have a live product. That's one. Then two, what are some of the other acceptable forms of an MVP? If you have a Shopify website, for those of you with physical products, if you have a Shopify website, you have an e-commerce website, whether it's third party, for those of you in Nigeria, you use Jumia, you use Konga, you use Facebook Shop, all those links are acceptable for those of you that have physical products, right? If you get into the incubator, you will learn further how to use AI or how to make your business even more tech-enabled, right? What areas in your operations or your business processes that AI or technology can improve, and you learn how to integrate all of that if you get into the incubator. But for now, if you haven't built with Lovable, that's fine. You have an e-commerce website, whether it's a third party or your own e-commerce website, please simply copy the link and paste here. If you're selling on Instagram, copy the link and paste here. If you have what's the name of this tool? What are some of the tools for prototyping? If you have those tools, if you have Figma links, paste your Figma links here. You do not need to start building anything new. Paste your Figma links here. Vercel, yes, thank you. Whatever prototyping you have done before now, paste the link here. I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want to make sure that all 228 of you on this call today graduate and stand a chance to get into the incubator next year, where you will receive even further support and possibly funding, okay? So do you have any further questions? I've shown you just what to do to graduate from this program to get yourself set for next year. Then complete the rest of the questions here and click submit, and you're done. You're done. Any questions? Any questions? I know some of you think that maybe you need Lizzo, you need it. Trust me, if you can sit with yourself for 2 hours, not even up to 2 hours. If you can sit, just start with 20 minutes, set a timer on your phone. I want to focus on Founder Academy for the next 20 minutes. Set a timer on your phone and just focus on the resource document that Ruth has been sharing. Let me just share it again. This document has everything you need to graduate from this program. Just read it carefully. One thing I've realized is that many of us don't read. If you read this, if you're just joining this program today, you've not been coming for any of the sessions, this hour is your first interaction with this program. If you read through this document carefully, you will be able to graduate from this program. Okay, so I've shared the documents in the chat. All right, I'll stop talking. Any questions?
Nkechi, before you get to the questions, we skipped over just thanking Luba so much for today's session. Luba, thank you so much for the time and the effort and the patience you had with all of the founders, with all of us. I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to you and all of the effort that you put into today's session. I'm really, really honored and grateful to have seen you run the session today. I mean, personally, from my own experience, I know where you started and I know how you've grown. And just watching you answer these questions has been a real gift to me. So I appreciate you, and I'm sure everyone else here is really grateful. And guys, if you didn't clock it earlier, Luba only started, he only thought of his idea last October. Okay, and look at how far he's got. So that's just an indication to you as to how far you can come if you put your mind to it. So Luba, thank you so much again. Really appreciate your time and effort here.
Not a problem. Happy to help.
Cool, Nkechi, back to you.
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much, Luba. Just to expose Nicole, we were just talking in the chat how very patient that you've been today answering the questions. I think you ended the session. You completed your first session in 1 hour. I spent over 1 hour, 30 minutes just answering questions, and sometimes the same questions over and over again.
You are very patient.
Not a stress at all. Not a stress at
time.
all.
Thank you so much. And everybody, when remember that Luba played a vital role in enabling your founder journey. Okay. You can find him on LinkedIn. You can find him on LinkedIn, and maybe we can have a positive disruption of his LinkedIn page this afternoon. Please follow him and leave kind words on his page. Okay.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Has someone
Hello,
to say
dears. Okay. Hello.
Are
Do
you
you hear
listening
me?
to me? Hello.
Hello, who is speaking?
Hello, I'm speaking.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. So I mute
My
everyone.
appreciation goes to Luba and all of you. I would like to say thank you again for your time and effort. I have one question forward to Belinda. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Enge Desawe.
Yeah, Angadaso.
Oh, it's going to Nkechi.
My question is, yesterday.
I didn't hear the question.
It hasn't started yet.
Oh.
You're on mute again. Hold on. Let me just unmute. Oh, where'd he go?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
Yesterday, have employed some other AI tools like DeepSeek. I mean, I'm not used Lovable Cloud. So, what I've been saying the finalized document using the forms that you have been provided. So is that right or not?
Or is it just me, or we can't hear Ngeda? So
Oh, it's just you, dude. I think your internet's nonsense.
Hello.
Yes,
you are right.
Okay, yeah. I think it's your internet. Sorry, please repeat it so we can support.
Hello.
Ngedeso, let me just
Yeah,
unmute.
yeah, I'm
Please go
hearing you.
ahead and ask again.
Okay. Yesterday, have had deployed some other AI tools like DeepSeek to prepare MVP document. So, been sent finalized document. What it looks like, it should be. I should use Lovable Cloud, or is that right?
So, all right. So you used a language model to get the prompt, right? For Lovable, correct? Okay. Then you can take it and you can put it into Lovable, or you can put it into Rock, or whichever tool that you want to develop it for you.
Okay.
Okay, is that clear? Cool.
Okay, can I ask you my question?
Yes,
Just
please go
simple.
ahead.
Okay, first of all, I appreciate all of you and even Loba. So you can imagine how grateful we are for this course. So my question is, after creating a Lovable, there is any way you can remove that watermark of Lovable? I have seen every edit that you make by Lovable, it has that watermark, right?
Yes, yes.
I don't know if my
So
question makes sense.
yes, no, it does. So the only way to remove it is if you pay for Lovable. So on the free version, it will always be there.
Okay, so, thank you.
Okay, but it's okay. You can send us the version that you have now. You don't have to pay for it at this point. Okay.
Hello, team. I have a quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
All right, thank you guys so much for this session and for the past 2 days. I did send a private message regarding this question, but it seems it didn't go through. I just wanted clarity and to confirm we have our products already, say in beyond its MVP stage, say early traction. So I confirm if we can put in this product or this platform and then hope to get into the incubator phase program also.
Yeah, so you can put that in your MVP as your MVP link. So that's totally fine. And when you put your pitch deck together, make sure that you have your traction slide. So that's perfect. So when it comes to the incubator program, we can't promise anyone. So everyone goes through an application process, and only once the next incubator is open will we send out applications. Okay, so open applications. So then you can apply, and then you might go through an interview process depending on which country you're in. So we can't promise it, but if you have early traction, that's a really good point and a better way potentially for you to get in.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Great help.
Cool. Pleasure. Any other questions?
Yes, quick one. I guess
Yes.
yes. I joined late, and I must say that I have missed a lot. I wish I could join earlier on. Yes. So I just did my app. I tried to build an app and on the rock. So my question is how do I get it published? How do I get it published? And then how do I get it
Send the
out
link.
there?
Okay, Luba, do you have an answer to that question? So he's built an app on Rogue, and now he wants to get the link to send through as his MVP to
Oh, to
publish
send.
and get the link.
Okay. Just give me a second while you're on there. Just trying to see. Where is it? Okay. Opening the project. Okay, so when you click on the black dot, I think I have to show you. I need to share my screen so that you understand how it works. Share screen. Okay, I assume you can see. So the black dots that I was telling you about, click there, and then you click the share button there at the top, and then you can then share the link to whoever you want to test your product out and stuff. You don't need to download the app. I don't think so. I think it works as a web as well, web application interface, and yeah, then they can play around with it basically and stuff. So yeah, I hope that showed you how to share the link.
Okay, guys, so there is a sharing button in Rourke. So you click share. So it's not the same as Lovable. Lovable, you'll publish. In Rourke, you click share. And then there was a part that said copy link. So you can just copy the link and add it to your final submission form. Thank you, Luba. Cool. All right. So guys, that wraps it up for today. We
Sorry,
will
just
be
just one more thing. The link to the form for graduation, it's also on the what's called program resources document. Am I right?
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you'll see it as the final submission form. Okay.
Copy
All
that.
right. Cool. Awesome. Luba, thank you once again for this amazing session. Yeah, 1.5 hours of answering questions. You are a boss.
No problem.
Thank you, Nkechi and Ruth, for running this boot camp and for really putting this together and supporting the founders in this journey. From my side, it's been an absolute pleasure to co-host and to have supported you in the LCM session on Monday. Guys, I'm wishing you all the best. We do have the submission sessions tomorrow and Friday. So please, if you have any further questions, if you need clarification on anything, please jump into those. Otherwise, we look forward to going through your submission forms and hoping that you all get into the incubators. So, guys, well done. Thank you for showing up. And I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you, team. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Farewell. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
And Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Bye, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Let it be a productive week. Bye, everybody.
Blessings.
Great way to spend December.
Goodbye, everyone.
Amen.
Maybe this will be a prosperity.
Most productive
guys.
December ever. Most productive
it.
December ever.
I'm loving these
Okay, guys,
comments.
this is the point where you all say bye-bye and leave.
Bye-bye.
I love
Don't
it. I love
forget
the
to
energy.
come.
Let's go, guys. Let's finish strong. Let's go.
Yeah.
ALX team, you are the best.
Oh.
Cheers, guys. Have a good
Luba,
one. We'll catch
thank
up
you.
tomorrow.
Luba,
Emmanuel,
thank you.
stay.
Not a problem, sir. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm glad to know I was present. I hope I was at least.
All right, guys. I'm going to
Goodbye, everyone. Have a great December.
rest. I'm going to help you all go
Thanks,
home and rest.
Nicole. Thanks,
I'll be
Nicole.
ending
Thanks,
the call
Belinda.
now.
Thanks,
Bye.